On this episode of This is America and the World, we continue our conversation with the ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the United States, Rosan Roeslani. In November, Indonesia was the host country for the G20 summit in Bali, and in 2023 chairs ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The ambassador formerly served as chairman of the Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and studied finance at Oklahoma State University. What pushes the economy of Indonesia? What drives the economy?
Well, the economy in Indonesia actually mostly drive for our strong domestic consumption.
Yeah. Like the United States?
Yeah. About 57% our economic growth comes from domestic consumption, close to 30% from investment, less than 10% government spending, and then a little portion from trade.
Is it industrial, agricultural, services? What makes up the economy?
Yes, those three makes up the economy. The contribution, the largest contribution is from services. If I'm not mistaken, close to like 41-42%. And then from industry is about 37-38%. And then agriculture is about 13%.
Oh, smaller now.
Smaller. Yeah, we used to have a big contribution from agriculture.
Yeah.
But in terms of the absorption of the workforce, agriculture counted about 29%. Services counted 49%.
When they say services, what are we talking about? Banking or
telecommunication? Financial services, banking, and other stuff.
Where does tourism fit into the economy of Indonesia?
Well, tourism also playing an important role in our economy. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, tourism industry contribute about 5.7% to our GDP.
Okay.
And it creates jobs for like close to 13 million people.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know, our tourism industry, we have 2019, I'm talking about 2019, about 16 million people.
Before the pandemic.
Before pandemic, because after pandemic, you know, everything is collapsing, especially in the tourism industry. We are pushing for our tourism industry to keep growing.
Who comes? Where do they come from? Mostly?
Mostly from Malaysia, Singapore, China,
in the area,
Australia, and I think from the U.S. 2019 is close to 500,000 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to get on a plane and go to Indonesia, how would I get there? What would be the route?
From US?
Yeah, from Washington, Dulles, Washington.
From Washington, you can go via Dubai or via Abu Dhabi or via Japan or direct flight to. You can go also to Singapore. A lot of it's very accessible.
So if people want to go to say Dulles to Tokyo or Dulles to Seoul. Or the Middle East, as you mentioned, Dubai, something like that. Then the second leg, how long is that from say Korea or Dubai to Indonesia?
Okay, from here to Dubai, for example, is about 13 to 14 hours.
Yeah.
And then from Dubai to Indonesia is about 8 hours.
Okay.
About 8 to 9 hours.
Okay.
7 to 8 hours. So totally, all in all, is about 24 hours flying.
Oh, you figured 24-hour flight.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the transit, it's about 24 hours flight.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hold on that note. Tell the folks at home, we're talking with the ambassador from Indonesia. Actually, being at the embassy, they tell me that I am in Indonesia right now. We're talking with the ambassador. Take a little break. Back on the other side. This is America and the World. This is America and the World is made possible by the Japan-America Society of Washington, D.C., 21st Century Citizenship the Frank Islam and Debbie Dreisman Foundation, the Republic of Uzbekistan, the Sultanate of Oman, the Kingdom of Morocco, the Forerunner Foundation, the Rotondaro Family Trust, and the Embassy Series, uniting people through musical diplomacy. Ambassador, if you were a tour guide, what would you have us see? What would you have us do? What would you have us experience?
Well, if I'm a tourist guide, most of people know about Bali, right?
Bali, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Bali. And actually Bali is, well known for popular tourist destination. They know Bali even than Indonesia sometimes. I get the question, where's Bali located? Is it near Indonesia? I said, no, Bali is in Indonesia actually, right? And Bali, so I'm not going to explain about Bali because, but we have a lot of other places actually all over Indonesia, which is gorgeous, very exciting also. Namely like Labuan Bajo, for example, which is like half an hour from Bali by plane. There's a Komodo dragon, the big reptile exists in the world, and they have one of the best diving spot in the world.
You're a diver too.
Yeah, I'm a diver, so you can come to Labuan Bajo, very nice beaches, and also you can come to Papua. Also, they said that's the Mecca for the diving spot. Because it's so gorgeous, everything is so natural. Or you can come to Yogyakarta to visit the biggest temple, the Buddhism temple in the world. You can come to Kalimantan to enjoy the still natural forest.
Yes.
With a lot of flora and fauna. Come to our national park. We have 54 national park in Indonesia. You can come to do island hopping also in Sumatra area, in Belitung, Batam, or you can come to Sumatra. To Medan, the Lake Toba, which is the deepest and the largest lake in Indonesia. Crystal clear water and a lot of mountain. So a lot of nice places in Indonesia.
This phrase jumps out at me, Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is volcanoes, earthquakes. I did not realize the United States is in the Ring of Fire. It's quite large. We'll put that on the screen as well so people get a sense of it. So it's a kind of good news, bad news. The tropical climate, the susceptibility or the vulnerability to these earthquakes and volcanoes. But on the other side, you say, and I've read and seen pictures of the beautiful parks that you have. You mentioned the flora, fauna, 1,500 species of birds. It's just absolutely, it's ecologically, it's heaven, isn't it? Huh?
Yes, we have so many variety of flora and fauna because we are located in the Ring of Fire. We still have a lot of active volcanoes, and one of the active volcanoes, for example, Bromo, you can go and see by yourself. It is one of the best tourist destination also. Yeah, in Bromo, so you can see the active volcano in Bromo. Yes, in a way we also very prone to these natural disasters because we are located in this Ring of Fire. So that's why our government, they make sure that the preparedness, if something happen, is always been disseminated to all people especially located on those different areas.
Is that area and Indonesia itself, is that susceptible to this whole business of global warming, climate change? Is that affecting Indonesia now?
Oh yeah, it is affecting Indonesia, especially the rising of the sea level.
Okay.
Yeah. Extreme, changes of weather. Because again, we are in archipelagic countries, right? So that's why our government take a very affirmative action on this one, and we already we will meet the target of net zero carbon emission by 2060 or sooner. And also our government promote a lot of renewable energy. Because the potential of Indonesia in renewable energy is huge. If I'm not mistaken, it's around like 3,600 gigawatt of potential of renewable energy in Indonesia.
Where will that come from?
Well, it comes from the geothermal. We have one of like geothermal. We have a huge abundance of geothermal, especially in Java area, wind farm, and then tidal farm, and then
solar, of course.
Solar, yeah, definitely, and but mostly in geothermal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are the I didn't ask this, but when you mentioned preparedness for a volcano or earthquake or something like that, what does that mean? What does that look like? How does the government prepare for, some of these tragic events?
Well, we have this, protocols. If something happen or close to this natural disaster happening, for tsunami, for example, because we hit by tsunami back then in Aceh, and more than 200,000 people lost their life. So, and also for when volcanoes erupted. So we have all this protocol, and our government really have taking very seriously to make sure the safety of the people, so they know what to do when these things happening.
We do a lot of interviews with ambassadors, and I want to take a minute out to investigate a little bit the life of an ambassador here in the United States. Interestingly enough, I see that you went to school here in the United States, in Oklahoma, huh?
Yes, I went to school in Oklahoma State University. I am very fortunate. Actually, I just went back to visit my alumni a couple of months ago. I got invited and gave some lecture to the class.
They must be very proud.
Yeah, and I'm very happy to be back again. Even though I got a lot of questions why I went to school in Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Well, why? How did you end up there? Interesting, you're Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Stillwater, Oklahoma.
I was raised in Stillwater, Rhode Island.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, because at the time, my parents want to put me well, at that time, they said in one of the safest city in the U.S. and not a lot of distraction. And a good school, so that's why I end up in Oklahoma State to get my bachelor's.
Very, very thoughtful parents. What did your dad do? How about your mom?
My dad. He was a doctor, and my mom, she was a housewife.
And other brothers and sisters?
All my brother, all my sisters, all my nephew, they are doctors. Medical doctors.
Medical doctors?
Yes. My dad is medical doctor.
And what caused you to go off in another direction? You're a businessman. I mean, that was your calling, huh?
Well, because too many doctors in one house. So it's only me and my mom, not a doctor. Yeah, because when they discuss everything on the table, me and my mom just look at each other like, we both doesn't understand what they say.
Does your dad have a specialty?
Yes, specialty in ENT. Ear, nose, and throat.
That produces a question in my mind. out of nowhere. Would you characterize the people of Indonesia as happy people?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you say, oh yeah.
Yes.
What do they do for fun, or how does that make itself known?
Okay, if you come to Indonesia, you can see Indonesian, they are smiling all the time. People, when they smile, meaning they are happy, right? Why? Because I think Indonesian, we are every day we remind ourselves we are very grateful, we are thankful to God, we appreciate what we have, and in the same time we always keep moving forward to become a better person. So Indonesia, we smile all the time. I get a lot of questions also from foreigners. I come to Indonesia, what they're smiling? What they're smiling? Because they're happy, because they're happy. That's why people's happy. So they smile because they're happy. Right.
When you were studying at the university in Oklahoma State, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What was your major, or what was your goal there?
Well, my major is management and general business.
Okay.
And then my minor in finance.
Okay. So what was your career path in, and you also studied in Belgium, right?
Yeah. I get my master's in Belgium in international finance.
And then what was your career path when you got back to Indonesia?
Well, when I went back to Indonesia, actually, I didn't have any plan to become a business person, a businessman at that time.
What did you think you wanted to do?
I just want to work in the banks. So I applied to a lot of different international banking. When I got interviewed, and then I met with my high school buddy at that time, and then we talked each other, and we said, oh, why don't we just set up companies, of financial advisory companies, because my partner background finance, my background also international finance, and then I went to work also as an analyst for 2 or 3 years, and then me and my friend said, oh, why don't we just set up a financial advisory company? If you don't make it within 3 years, then we can again back to work for others. That's how we started. When we set up the company back then in like 96, 97, a lot of people like, who's going to hire you? Two young people with a lot of, they don't have a lot of experience. In the end of 96, and then middle of 97, Asian crisis.
Yeah.
Right, and then everything is collapsing. The mostly in ASEAN, including in Indonesia, on the economic front, and suddenly we end up having a lot of client, client. And that's how we started.
People knocking on your door.
Yeah.
To get your advice?
Yes, and then to restructure, and then to get more funding. So we end up with a lot of clients, and then we invest. We starting invest also in a lot of different sectors, financial sectors, in infrastructure, and also in property.
So you became very successful. Yeah.
Well, it depends, but I'm very grateful.
You ended up chairing the Chamber of Commerce. Huh?
Yes, I was a chairman for Indonesian Chambers and Commerce for more than 5 years before coming here.
And then you had helping out the government with different projects, Olympics, COVID recovery, things of that nature. Where does sports is important to you? Huh? Weightlifting. How did you get to? What's that all about?
Yes,
that fascinates me.
Since 2015, I'm the chairman of Indonesian Weightlifting Association. Well, I'm very proud because we always participate in Olympics, and we always get medals. In Olympics, in weightlifting. Because Indonesia always get the medals from badminton and
weightlifting. Are you a weightlifter?
I wish. No, but I'm not. I'm not a weightlifter. But I enjoying seeing that they can do a lot for the country
Yes, sure.
by doing a weightlifting program.
How about your role as ambassador? What's the relationship between Indonesia and United States? You mentioned trade is very important. How is that relationship? How would you characterize the relationship between our two countries?
Well, the relationship between two countries, Indonesia and the U.S., I believe is getting stronger. If mention it a little bit, maybe in the trade side, I think the trade side is improving exponentially. From 2020 to 2021, improved by 37% in terms of trade, and also in terms of investment. From 2020 to 2021, improved by close to 70% on the investment side.
Are there many American companies who are invested in Indonesia?
Yes. And actually now our government is really pushing for a clean energy in Indonesia, especially in EV battery.
Oh,
why?
Okay.
Because the primary material of EV battery is nickel. And we have the largest nickel reserve in the world.
Oh, so that's a smart investment.
Yeah, so already a couple of investment from ASEAN countries, from UK also, and hopefully also now from US.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you travel around the country to meet with governors and key people to promote trade and investment?
Oh, yes. I think for the past 1 year, I've been here at least 15 states. Yeah, already. I met with not only with Indonesian, with diaspora here, but also with a lot of different agency, institution, private sector, private equity fund, investment fund, rating agencies. So I met with them and try to keep them update about Indonesia also. I think that's also very important.
As we come down to the end of our time together, what would you want our individual viewers to take away from our conversation about Indonesia? It's a very unique country, and thank you for the education.
Well, to picture about Indonesia, you have to be in Indonesia. Because it will explain about the beauty of Indonesia, about the people of Indonesia, about our deep culture, our open-minded, our resilient people, and also we are very tolerant people, and very warm, very welcoming, and also we always respect the differences, and family is our strong foundation in also Indonesia.
That's a beautiful answer. You have your own family, ambassador, successful businessman, doctors in the family. Too many
doctors in the family, actually.
Too many doctors in the family. Tell me something about life that you've learned. Tell me a lesson that you've learned on a personal level that you can share with me, that I can learn from you.
Well, I keep saying, we don't, if something bad happened to you, don't regret it, but think what can do to make it better. I just give an example to my son, to my daughter, like, if you cannot, if you are fail in the class, right? There's no use you are crying all the time and do nothing. Might as well you just study hard, right? And making a better grade, so you'll become a successful people in the future. So just, and most important thing, always thankful to life, to whatever you have, and keep praying to God. Because people always have a plan, but without the bless from the God, maybe you will go into the different or wrong direction. So I think that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Okay, thank you.
What a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I also enjoy very much.
We look forward to coming to Indonesia.
Okay, please do. Please do.
you.
Thank you.
For information about This is America and the World, visit our YouTube channel, This is America TV, visit our website, thisisamerica.net, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can listen to all of our ambassador interviews on our podcast, The Ambassador Series. It's available on our website and iTunes. This is America and the World is made possible by the Japan-America Society of Washington, D.C., 21st Century Citizenship, the Frank Islam and Debbie Dreisman Foundation, the Republic of Uzbekistan, the Sultanate of Oman, the Kingdom of Morocco, the Forerunner Foundation, the Rotondaro Family Trust, and the Embassy Series, uniting people through musical diplomacy.